Hi, today is the 9th of October 2025. CRAZII Market Talk with KEL. Crazy, anytime, anywhere. All right, guys, good morning to all of you once again. Let's just go into the market right now. Now, if there's going to be any break in between, we will terminate the whole session because no point coming back again. All right, then I'll try to do something for you guys. Okay, because now the internet is not very stable at the moment right now. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the fundamental part. Let's go into fundamental. Okay, let me just bring it in to you guys. Okay, here we go. Okay, but before that, disclaimer apply as usual. Make sure that you know the risks involved in trading and investment, and do make your risk management before you trade in the market. Yeah. Okay, so let's just see what happened. Okay. All right, now S&P 500 and Nasdaq closed again at a record high as Wall Street looked past U.S. government shutdown. Now, this is actually a very scary thing. When the government tells you that we are having a shutdown that more about nearly 2 weeks, but Wall Street says that it's okay, we don't bother. Now, this is definitely irrational exuberance. Okay, and usually when that happens, we know that it's just a matter of time, things will go very, very ugly. As a matter of fact, right now, you can see that the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq has caught new all-time high, okay, after what they call a bit of snap in between, and then after that, the market recovered, okay. Do note this is the second week for the US government shutdown, and you can see primary because the market says that there will be two rate cuts this year, means two more rate cuts this year, and it has been shown. But the thing is this, the Fed also is quite divided over how much more for next year, yeah? So with that itself, right, we also know that NVIDIA has been going up because the NVIDIA says that the demand for computing has gone up substantially and confirmed that the company involved in funding Elon Musk AI, okay, XA1, is definitely moving along very well. Now, we all know that what AI can do. You can see that on YouTube itself, it's very ridiculous. You can no longer differentiate what is a real video, what's a fake video. And if this continues itself, right, it's going to be good in a way because it's going to like change and help a lot of job. But at the same time, it will cut a lot of job at the same time. So all I can tell you this, guys, is always a good thing and a bad thing when the market go into a new era, yeah? Okay, so now the thing is this going on forward, right? The market now started to realize that the current AI situation now is a little bit back to what happened in 1999, whereby we also saw the internet frenzy where the internet companies go bust later on. But again, I repeat, it's a bit different around because there are some companies are doing very well with AI, but of course, there's some good chunk of companies they are just riding on the wave of it. I'll show you why. And then, of course, after that, we know that usually when the market hit the exuberance, there will be a severe and big correctional pullback as we've seen before. Okay, as we all know now, the thing is this, everybody wants Donald Trump to quickly settle the government shutdown. But based on what I'm seeing right now, it's going to be tough because the Democrats are not going to give way on this factor here. All right, so to have a shortcut on what happened this week, okay, so we saw the Israel and Hamas, they are actually reaching a first phase of plan whereby Donald Trump is trying to go in and try to salvage this situation, try to become the Mr. Nobel Peace Prize winner. Okay, and we all know that we have the very interesting deal between NVIDIA and AMD. Right, and of course, we all know that the gold has shot up to $4,000. Now, when I predicted gold to hit $4,048, it was based on the dollar going down to 96.50. Okay, so now the dollar did not go there, and yet the gold go up. So what does it mean? That means that actually someone has really made a very big mistake in their position because it's always a demand and supply. And we don't see any much movement in the bond market. We don't see anything big on the dollar market. And there's no stock market crash. So there's no reason why for the dollar to go up in such a level. So I strongly believe that there could be a short squeeze in the market. Okay, a very big short squeeze. And I'll talk about this later on, yeah? All right, so SoftBank has decided has to go up to buy ABB robotic unit for 5.4 billion. Now we all know that SoftBank really love to buy things, and of course, the reason why they are buying this because they are buying it's more for capitalism gain. You can see that across the board, the shares of the market all went up, and basically, right, the reason of this is more to the physical AI, meaning that using AI on physical product. Okay, and of course this artificial super intelligence that's 10,000 times smarter than human being. So it's something like this whereby you have the robot arms trying to sort out things and stuff like that. I mean, yes, indeed, it does show that it will help out in the long term. But in the short term itself, right, spending this sort of money is really like what you always see in the market, where before the market crash, there will be people buying things at a very ridiculous price. And now we are actually seeing that, if you ask me itself. So that is why I felt that this is a little bit too much. And of course, Hang Seng Bank has jumped again 30% on the parent HSBC privatization bid, valued at $37 billion. So again, when you have this sort of M&A deals where the company get privatization, you usually also means that the market has hit a very high level. Now, all these sort of things will only happen when the market is at a high level. You won't see it have low level. So you understand why these sort of things are always happen. And that is why when the shareholders are not going to pay for the premium for this. So all I can tell you that when you see all this good news in the market, yes, it does help in the economy, but you also need know that it means that the prices now is really at a very high extreme level. Now, of course, we all know that CEO Huang says that the AI computing demand is at a very high demand. There's a lot of people using it right now. So that's indeed, so that's why the Nvidia shares is still climbing up. Now, Bank of England came in and says that if a sharp market correction will happen if the AI bubble bursts. I mean, I don't need a bank to tell me this. Everybody knows that right now the current situation is that the dollar value now versus stock value now, the value of the stock may be worth $1, but the valuation is 220 to $30. So you're buying way, way, way above the market rate. Even if the PE ratio is 10, you need to have basically 10 years to recover back. All right. So all this thing tells you that you need to be very, very careful. And Jerome Powell has already previously said that the current situation now is that it's fairly highly valued assets across the board. The market pulled back for a short while and the market recovered. So when the market do such thing as well, right, it's just a matter of time. I've seen this enough since 1999 until to date for the last 26 years. I've seen enough market correction in this manner. There's always two waves in the market, and we haven't see the first wave yet. So stay tuned with me. I'll tell you more how the second wave will behave in the later part. Yeah. So this one, take note of this. All right, so let's take a look right now on the US dollar Dow Jones right now. Now, I believe that there will be some profit taking in the Dow Jones very soon. Now, I already shared with you my view on the while I look at the chart, but more important, if you look at the Dow Jones right now, we're having a market that's so bullish with all the good news ongoing, but yet the market is not following through. And we can see that there's a divergence between the Williams indicator. When the market goes up, usually the Williams indicator stays up, right? But when it start to go down, start to go up, and then the Williams indicator actually go down, that means that there's a divergence in the market. So a primary down movement to 46,000 is kind of expected. Yeah, 46,000 is kind of expected if you ask me. So traders, watch out for that. That should be this small little pullback in the market. Yeah, let me just take a quick picture on this myself. Okay. Now, what I want to show to you is the dollar index. Now, you can look at the dollar index is actually up. Look at it. The dollar index is actually up, and yet the gold hit 4,000 and $50. And today the dollar is down, but gold also came down. So that's why I tell you the market has no longer following the dollar. All right, when the gold market doesn't follow the dollar, that means it's decoupled. And when it's decoupled, that means that the market is having its mind on its own. There's something planning bigger at the back. So traders, you need to be very, very careful on this. Okay. The next market I'll show you is NASDAQ. Now, NASDAQ is also one of the counter that went beyond. You can see that this was a very powerful trend, which the market has taken out very easily. And of course, this is the uptrend now in the market. You can see it's swinging up very nicely all the way, one single file. Now, when was the last time we saw this? It was back here itself when it was back in 2024 in August. All the way it stretched until February. So from August is where it started, right, to February. So that will give you approximately 5 months. So where are we right now? Here is also April plus 5 months. That will give me about where we are right now, October period. So that's why I felt that we could be near. But the problem is this, the current valuation now is that the market, the current price versus the MA is very far away. So which means that if the market wanted to come down, it will have to fly down literally like here. You see that? Over this period of time where the Nasdaq was also gushing up, then when it came down, oh my goodness, it just keep on selling like, every day just keep on selling down. So would that be a chance of this happening? Well, to me, it's possible. When the bubble bursts, okay. Now, I don't think that in the near term the AI bubble will burst because it's a very different thing from the internet world. But you ask me itself, right? What will naturally be happening because of profit taking or there's some margin calls? I think that is very, very possible. Okay, so that is the using the conventional chart, yeah, and the fundamental. Now, I don't have time to go into those controversial article, so I try to send to you later or tomorrow. Okay, all right. So let's just look at now into the CRAZII system and see what can we share about for today. Okay, on, yeah. Usually this time this transition will take a bit longer than usual. Okay, let me just wait for a while. Okay, here we go. Okay, so first of all, today is a DJDD, so that means the Doji Directional Day. Yeah. Now, do take note. Yeah, Doji Directional Day doesn't mean that today the market will go sideways. Doji already means yesterday. The market is a doji. So yesterday was a sideways day. So the next day, which is today, usually is a directional day. So don't think that you see DJDD, you think that today will be sideways. It's not that way. Okay, it doesn't mean that way. No one can predict. Okay, so please make sure you understand the how it's being run. Yeah. Now DJDD means that yesterday was a doji. So today, most likely, will be directional day. Now, normally what will happen, I think I shared this before, I'll share this again, okay? Now, on a doji directional day, usually this will happen. If the market go up first, right, and pull back, the upside is about 30% chance of happening. And then when the market pulls back after it went up first, there'll be 70%. So that means that if the market initially pull up first in the morning, usually in the afternoon, there will be some selling. Okay. Now it's not always like this, but I've seen it enough. So if the market goes down first, then after that when it rebound, then you go up all the way. So doji directional day really solely depending on what happened first in the morning. Then after that, we see what happened in the afternoon. So if the market really now this morning goes up in the morning, and then after in the afternoon pulls back, then likely chance today will be a selling day. So vice versa, yeah. Okay, so first of all, this is a DJDD day. That's the first thing that we take note already. Now, the next thing that we need to take note, okay, it will be this MLP, right? MLP today is at 46,625. It's very near to the OP. So again, it will become a very important pivotal point. Now, one thing to note, guys, if you notice this, the KSI has been red for the last 2-3 days. And you can see from the long tail that on the top end, that means that the market did try to go up, but every time the selling will pull you back. So these are the telltale signs to tell you that the market is going to go down soon. Okay, although we cannot be 100%, but I kind of feel it's coming in. Now, one thing to note today, we have an inverse pivot day. Now, you can see that the pivot 1 and pivot 2 actually change places. So why does it happen? When this phenomenon happen, right, that means that the market today will likely be a sideways market. Now, nothing to do with doji, okay? But because of this inversion, right, both sides of the market will pull towards them itself. So that's why today the market will be a bit sideways first until the market choose a direction. So if you ask me itself, right, based on what I'm seeing right now, for the last 3 days, every time the Dow Jones hit 46,500, it always takes a rebound, always. So when the market sees something like this, they will usually get very excited. So if you ask me, if the market do break below the pivot 1 at 46,507, then there will be some real selling down all the way to 46,278. Okay, so this one I think will happen if the market breaks below the 500 mark. But at the same time, if the market pulls up again, it will definitely challenge the 46,896 level here, because that is the pivot 2 level in this case. So guys, What you're going to see is this for Dow Jones today, it will be sideways, and then after that, probably in the afternoon, then we will see the real action. Okay, then we will see the real action. Yeah. So all clear. If all clear, press number 1 right now. Okay, let's look at the next market. That is gold, the one that you guys have been making money from. Okay, hold on, having some difficulty to cross it over. It usually happens when the internet is not strong, and I'm having issue here at the moment right now. Hold on. Is ETH a sell? I'll come to that later to you, Kim. Okay, so you can see that now my screen is having a bit of hang already, yeah? When you have a lot of people online and the internet is not strong, you have this thing will held up for a while, yeah? I tried to use 3G earlier, but it didn't work, so I used better hotel thing. Yeah, okay, I'm having a jam now at the moment now. Okay, my screen is not moving. I'm not too sure if I'm talking to you or you can hear me or not. Okay, coming in very, very slowly now, yeah? Okay, just hang on for a while. Once I get pulled in, I can talk already. Okay, anyway, while we are waiting for the thing to stabilize, it's very clear today the opening price is at 40.41 for the gold market. And you can see that over the last 10 over days, when gold stays above OP, usually it will go up. So today, the gold, if you take notice itself, right, the gold basically opened and instantly came down. So there is profit taking. So I'm very confident to tell you that today gold, very high chance will trade down to this point here at 3984. 3984 gold should be going there if the selling breaks below 4,000. Why? Because pivot 2 is 4,000 and the market MLP is 4012. So breaking below OP, below MLP is a sell. And if it breaks below pivot 2 and stay below pivot 2, then the next KCB is almost a definite. So you can see that the next KCB is 3984. So it may not happen in the afternoon, maybe happen in the late evening or even early morning. It's all possible, yeah. So for people who are short in gold, you want to just put a bit of position and aim it there as well at 49.84. But of course, you don't put exact level, you put for 39.85 or 39.86 if you feel more comfortable, yeah. Okay, all clear? Yeah. I can't see the top end of the thing, so I'm not too sure how to tell you this. Okay, I am still having some trouble getting my thing updated on my site here itself. Okay. Okay, I still cannot see it. It's moving very, very snail pace at the moment right now. Okay, just hang on for a while, yeah. Now, gold definitely, as I mentioned to you, right, shouldn't be at this price right now. Gold should be trading about 3,400. Definitely not at 4,000 level now, because the mathematics show that the dollar didn't move, right? And so there's no reason for the gold to be doing this. So that means that someone really, based on my past experience, right, just mark my word, definitely later on, someone will say, okay, because of fat fingers or some mistake in the investment, they basically went wrong side of the goal and then they got short and stuff like that. Yeah, this is usually the case when you have market going out of the world. Now, I mean, seriously, I really keep myself because I really want to buy gold. Then I was like looking at 3,600 was a level that I was comfortable with, and then gold within just 15 days has went up by so much. So honestly, I will say this thing, guys, when the market do come down, the same KCBs will be all the target board. Okay, all the target boards, yeah. So there is a very fat movement down here from this point here at about 38.20, I think maybe there will big drop until here, which is something about 37.20. Yeah, because there's a KCB here and that stretch is pretty big, yeah. Now I say again, I love to do my sharing more, but I just cannot get my things moving. It's really stuck due to the internet that's stored here. Okay, I'm not able to do much. I'll try to do one more. It's the Ethereum, and we had to call it off a day because it's really not moving much itself. And there's some requests on Ethereum. Let's hope it works. Yeah, I'm trying to pull it over here. As you know, how do we get the market right? It's just basically you have to pull it in. But it's not that I do a right tap, I will work because the whole thing is not the internet is very slow over here. And that's causing the big problem here right now. I'm not able to do that. Yeah. Okay, I tried 3G earlier, it didn't work. Yeah, so I'm not too sure what's happening. Okay, let me just pull it up again. You can see once you see the hourglass symbol is going there, you do not touch it further. Really, the market is really trying to pull your data in. Yeah. Okay, I'm still not able to have any movement. Oh, this is really bad. Just try one more time. Just hang on for a while. Oh, some movement again on the internet. Okay, I think I giving up. I just cannot get my thing moving, and I don't want you guys to keep on waiting perpetually yourself because it's really not helping. Okay, guys, I will call the day off for now. I am sorry that I cannot continue. I cannot finish this, but whatever it is, I will key. Oh, okay, Ethereum is coming up. Just as I was saying that. Okay, Ethereum now is coming down. Ethereum is coming down. It stayed below 4,500 opening price and it broke below MLP. And yes, indeed, yesterday is a DJ. We should see that. So today it is a directional day. This morning, the Ethereum went up from 4,500 to 4,535, nearly up by 1%. And then now it's pulling back now. So very high chance later on, Ethereum should be heading down to 43.72, which is the pivot 2 level. The boys has been selling, and you can see that very clearly. So if the boys are selling in Ethereum, so likely the Bitcoin will be affected soon. And when Bitcoin do come down, the stock market will always come down. Yeah. So again, this is a good thing to remind traders, look out Ethereum. So if Ethereum comes down, look at it. Most likely it will come down here, or it may go down to KEL at 43.32. So traders expect selling to kick in for Ethereum. Okay, there should be some selling to come, and I hope that everybody take notice of this. Yeah. Okay, let me just take a picture on this right now. Okay. All right. So thank you for waiting. Apology for the internet. I will see what I can do for tomorrow. Now tomorrow we're in a different part, so let's see how it goes. Okay. Bye bye, guys. Thank you for waiting. Bye bye.